Okay guys, today I'm going to show you how to remove a thermostat housing to remove your thermostat. As in our previous video I showed you how to test one. So today I'm going to show you how to remove it, then in the workshop you're actually going to test it. Now the best way to find your thermostat housing is to follow your radiator hoses. You can see our radiator is here. We've got our top hose and our bottom hose. The bottom hose is running up into the actual thermostat housing right here. There's 1, 2, 3 bolts to remove, and I'll actually have to remove the bottom radiator hose to drain the excess coolant. So what I need to do is get a drip tray, place the drip tray underneath, just to make sure that I catch all the water and coolant. If I do make any spillages, make sure that you deal with that straight away, because I don't want anyone slipping. Health and safety is paramount. So next thing what we need to do then is we need to slacken our Jubilee clip. Slacken our Jubilee clip off. And the best way, sometimes these pipes can be seized, the best way to get them off is to give them a good twist. A good twist and then a pull. And point the hose down towards your drip tray, and we can leave that sitting down there and let it drip away. So now all we need to do is to remove our mounting bolts to hold the thermostat housing in place. I have actually pre-loosened these for the purpose of this video. And the final one. Now remember, antifreeze is very toxic, so you want to make sure you catch all of that and get it collected by a waste agent company. Now all we've got to do is remove our thermostat housing, which is here, and now you can see we've got access to our thermostat. You would have tested one of these this morning. So all we need to do is give it a wee wiggle. Now, always remember never to do this whenever the engine is hot. Always let the engine cool down. All we need to do is give it a wee wiggle back and forth, and it should pop out for us. If not, we can give it a wee helping hand, and you'll see our antifreeze is starting to come out. So now we've removed our thermostat. The next thing that you're going to do is bring it to the bench and test it with heat to make sure it's operational. Okay, so we've just built that up in reverse order. You can see my Jubilee clips back on nice and tight, and 3 bolts on the housing is nice and tight. Now they were torqued to 15 Newton meters, as I got that off auto data. The next thing to do then is to top up the system with 50% antifreeze and 50% water. The system takes 3.5 litres, so that's 1.75 litres each. As you can see on the cap, 0.9 bar. We'll talk about that in another lesson. So what you need to do is remove your cap. I have my mix already made. And we'll top that up, trying to minimize spillages. Okay. Once that's topped up, now there's a very important thing you need to do whenever you remove any coolant from the cooling system. You need to bleed the system, purge it of any air. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You look around the housing to see if there's any bleed nipples. As this one there isn't. This one's what you call a self-bleeding. So the best way to do that is to leave the cap off and start the car up. Okay, so Okay, so I got the car started up, making sure the extraction system was on. I've tapped it up because what happened then was the fluid went round the engine, so I've had to re-tap that up again, put the cap back on, and made sure that there was heat coming through inside the car.